we're here at Shoe Healer, and I've had a customer contact me about these boots here. Can we turn these boots into a leather sole? So we'll have a leather sole, and of course the construction of the boot, it was never meant to have a welt or a leather sole on there. So what we're going to do is strip all this down, see if we can get a welt onto this boot, get a nice mid-soling, get all that stitched together, and then get a nice leather sole on the outside. Of course, we've got to get all the proportions right, so we need to get the heel stack right. It'll obviously have a full leather heel stack in there if we're going to leather sole. I can't understand why exactly the gentleman would want these with a leather sole, but it will end up being something quite unique again. Now, the name of the boot, I don't know. It says Cracknell in there. Maybe they belong to Mr. Cracknell. I don't know what brand they are at all. They look like some sort of army para boot. But really nice uppers. So we have a good look round them. The first thing we see when we had a good look round these, look here, just zoom in here, we can see that there is somewhere, I just found it. Where are we at? Oh, it's gone, it's disappeared. No, it hasn't, can't have disappeared, because it was just round here somewhere. Wait, look at these marks here, around here. I don't know if these have been repaired before. I just can't understand what those marks are round there. Look, you see where that mark runs around there, and it runs off a little bit at an angle. They might have been refurbished at some time. Ah, here we are. Look, this is the mark I'm looking for. Excuse my grubby fingers. Can you see there's a cut in there? It doesn't go all the way through, but it's quite a deep cut. We'll run some glue into that when we do the repair, but it's nothing really. It won't detract from the boot at all. I'd be very surprised if anything happened there. But we'd just like to have a good look around the boot so we see any marks, any cuts, anything at all that's wrong with the boot before we start working on them. Nothing worse than getting halfway through an expensive repair, you put your time and effort in, and there's something there on the boot that makes the job not worth doing. Bad for us, bad for the customer. So give them a good inspection first. Got a pair of shoes here, look, just come in, and you know, a lovely soft leather upper, and even this edging material here that normally goes. And look at this sole, look at that, perfect. But what's happened is the glue has gone off. Just hold that there, Paul, look, you know, and you can just see how the glue's gone off, look. And you see how it's just coming apart, look, that's all that there just coming off, because the glue that holds the shoe together. So even though this is looking like a new shoe, hardly been worn, it's probably quite old, and the glue is just falling apart, and we see this often, and the time and effort to clean all that up and to bond it back together, and it will never go on quite squarely. It'll always be a little bit of glue showing, or a little bit, you know, it just never goes back together perfectly. So really not worth doing. Okay, scout it down from that to that, and then this is going to go in as the midsole. So we're going down a slightly different track to what we were going to, because the base of this boot is really good. Pair of trickers in, and had a repair, day-night sole. Gentleman wanted a taupey heel, not the day-night heel, does wear exceptionally well that, but does look a little bit odd, and he wanted toe plates on, so they've been done. Paul says this is like having ketchup on your Gordon Ramsay meal, you know. Bit strange really, but anyway, customer's always right. I'm just showing you the build up here of polish on these shoes, and we're using the back of the knife just to get that off. I'm going to go around these shoes underneath all this crud of polish. Is a beautiful pair of trickers. Look, not even the right colour there. We know who this is. It's all got to be stripped off. So I'm just going to scrape some of the big bits off with the back of my knife, being very careful. Look at it all here, look. Beautiful colour, this shoe. All this crud that's built up. Just look round here, it looks like an old shoe. Oh grief, look, polish, just, oh man. So we've got the stripper ready to go round and get all this off here. Soften it up, scrape it off just with the back of the knife, and tidy them up and see how they come up. Beautiful pair of shoes though. This is the shoe after it's had a lot of the old polish removed. The lovely colour of the shoe comes out, and it looks such a younger shoe compared to this one here. Look at the polish. Look at the polish on there that we've got to get off and get this beautiful colour to come back out. It's such a shame when people are just putting far too much polish on your shoes. Little bit, very little bit of polish. Spread it well about. Avoid all this. Why are you running off and going for a wee when I start videoing?
Well, 'cause I can't, then I'll make any noise.
Okay. Right. Mucky, untidy environment to work in. It's not good. It's not good, but I've been like it. I've been like this all my bleeding life. And I go into some shops and they're so lovely and organised, and yeah, I can't do it. So what we're on with here, this is a job for a gentleman, orthopaedic work. We don't do a lot of orthopaedic work. This is a deck shoe being built up. It's somebody that we know, so we'll do it for him. Morning, you alright? That's, yeah, I was moaning about the state of the shop. So these have come in. They were like that, and they want to be leather soled. So they've had the first midsole on. That'll get blaked on. And, no, shop, we work in a shop. Have you not noticed? Hang on, oh, don't swear, because we're videoing. Oh. Don't swear. We might have to beep that bit out. Hang on. Look at the state of it. Just what do you mean I create?
Shop, not a showroom.
All right.
A showroom round there, beautiful.
Yeah.
This is a workshop.
Yeah, but some people's workshops.
Leather, rubber, create. Dust.
Some people's workshops are beautiful. Ours is a show.
I know.
It's always been a show.
I could put my hand to everything until you come round.
But it is a show.
Look at your area.
Well, hang on, that's work in progress. These are my technical notes for sorting. You know, no, I think it's about time we upped our game. We get our Simon in, get some nice granite work surfaces, a nice granite floor, all machines painted up. What do you think?
Toilet roll holders.
Yeah. Right. So where was I?
Carry on.
That. I'm gonna do a live broadcast of a day at the Cobblers.
Oh God.
And see if and all you've got to do is not swear too much. Yeah. Right. So back over here. Yeah. Back over here. I'm sewing the other deck shoe, and look at that, lovely. Bit of oil has dripped off the machine. Hasn't made it onto the uppers. Lovely. But we'll just have to make sure that that's off before we start solutioning up. So now we're using a machine that's made for stitching uppers, and we're making it stitch this forget to talk there, making it stitch this welt on. Really thin welt that we've thinned it down so we can start to build it back up.
Hiya, I'm just wondering, do you do the soles of the Vivian Westwoods?
Soles?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can sole a nail.
How much would it be?
So we can do anything. Our motto: you can wear it, we can repair it.
Is that the bit?
Right. Stitch round that. Right, so we'll put that back down. Come back to that in a bit. There you go. That's it, don't swear. Yep.
Sofa heel, $21.95 and
$21.95.
Hello.
Morning.
Keys.
combination, $29.95.
$29.95.
Keys, yep. What are you wanting?
One of this and one of this.
One of this and one of this. Yep. So they're $3.45 each. They are. Is that all right for you?
Yes, that's
Lovely.
That's okay. Thank you.
Yeah, what's the tip for?
Yep. 2 keys, £3.45 each. That's that into yeah.
Brush there.
Yep, brushed it.
So, I will invest on it because Ricky helped me get seed.
Thank you.
Ricky helped me get seed. You know what helped me get seed? You know the deal at all.
Okay.
So,
Hiya.
I don't come
There you go, all sorted. Give them a try as soon as you can. Make sure your door fits our key.
Okay, which one is this?
So this one is that one, and this one is that one.
PAIGE.
That one is that one.
This one is this one?
Yep. And that one is that one.
Okay. I'm
Yeah.
confused because it looks different.
Yeah, no, it still work. Still work. This is an original one, so that's why it's got a square head. But that is a green one there, and that is that. So that's a long key, and this is a short key. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. So that green one is a short one. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Some spaces that are made to go in the back of the boots. Just when the stretcher won't quite stretch to the full size. Okay, so the boots. They've got this really stout midsole material on there, but it's a stout midsole material. And let me just adjust that there, see if we can just zoom back out a little bit. That's it. And that's Blake stitched through the boot. You see the stitching, Blake stitched through the boot. And then this is going on as a midsole. And then the top sole, and then all stitched through on here. So we'll see that as a welt on the outside of the boot. And we want the midsole, top sole to get the thickness. Still going to have some flexibility in it, and then a heel stack. Yeah, so we're plodding on with this repair and building it back up. Now we've stripped it down, we'll build it back up and just see how she turns out. All stitched round, beautiful. What a great old machine that is. There's my line. Ba, 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 ba. I'll turn her up. What are they, 26s? 26s at the back. Box knife. Yeah. Boots, sorry. They're a bugger, these things, for cracking on the uppers. And as you see the hole there, look where it flexes and it cracks. So make sure you put plenty of cream, nourishment or something on there. This one here, look, I'll just run through what we've done here. Have a look. You can see where it's cracked. So what I've done is I've put a bit of glue in and then I've put a stitch across it to hold it together. And then I've taken a piece of leather like this. I've thinned it down. This is lining leather. And I've solutioned it. And I've solutioned inside the boot. And now that boot has got a nice big patch inside there. Trying to bring some strength into all this area around here. So this is one that we've done earlier for the customer. And unfortunately it leaves, you know, all this stitching on there. But it's probably better than a gaping hole. What we do then is we take a little bit of Yankee wax like this and the lighter, and we can't heal these, we can't make them better. If anybody's come up with a better idea than this, I'd like to see it and adopt it, because we'd like to be able to offer this as a repair that's probably a little bit better. I mean, you might try it. I've seen some fillers. Look at that one running down there. I don't want that going onto the yellow stitching. So what we'll do, lots of hard Yankee wax into the stitching like that, and then I'm going to take it over to the machine and brush it on the machine just to smooth that out, get it hot and melt it on, and we'll see what we end up with. Look at that, when it flexes, it starts to crack. So what we've got to do is brush off as much of that as we can. So we've stitched it, glued it, patched it, and then we've worked a bit of Yankee wax into it just to try and make it look better. We'll put some polish over it now. You know, when that flexes, yeah, it's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be better. A bit of polish on there. We've put the masking tape on to try and keep this stitching as clean as possible. But what we're trying to do, I don't know, we're trying to just make this boot last a little bit longer. And I don't know if anybody else has got any other ideas. In the past, I've tried all sorts of bits and bobs, a bit of silicone, and just to see, because the silicone will flex, but it wasn't particularly great. I know Saphir do a product that's an upper filler for cracks and such. I'll be honest, I haven't used that product, but I will do. I'll get that product out and give it a go. So all we're doing here is trying to prolong this pair of Doc Martens. So it has got the big patch inside, it is stitched, it isn't going to get any worse, and it isn't going to get any worse because the patch will take the strain underneath, but it's about all you can do with these boots. We've had a pair of Barkers come back in. I do like to see them when they've been worn, but this has got a problem. There's a ridge there, look, it's not on the outside, it's a ridge there, and what's happened is the customer, can you see that ridge there, look, it's driving him nuts. It's not on the outside, it's not a crease, he's been slipping them on, and he's just caught that, not been using a shoe on, and he's pushed the counter down, the inside there, and pushed it down. So what we're going to do is have a look inside. Let's get the knife in there. Excuse my grubby fingers, but I've been grafting. Actually, I'm getting ready for retiring. Another couple of years and I'll be done. 40 odd years having a shop. I'm ready for a break. Right, let's have a look in there. Can we get just that second bit of lining undone there and have a look in there and see what, so we can see where that back lining there inside there has rolled up. So we'll get that up, glue it down and stitch it back together again, and that will make a lovely job.
We're in the thick of it at the shoe healer. We've got a customer coming, loves this shoe, this Barker shoe, and what he really wants is he wants a little bit more height in the heel. It just helps the way that he walks. So what we've done is we've put him a two extra lifts on there, and then I've drilled it out a little bit just to get rid of any of the extra weight. So we're going to end up, we've got them all down here, a couple of extra lifts in that heel, just to lift it up a little bit for him. Just something we do here at Cheaney.
Okay, so we've stitched these deck shoes together. You saw us stitching round the edge on the patching machine, which is not designed for doing that, but it's probably the only way to get these to stitch on. We stitched them on 2 or 3 times, and that was where we machined the original sole unit off, and then we've put another sole unit on, this Vibram lightweight unit, onto these deck shoes for a customer. Now we machined the original one off, and we made the welt really strong, and we stripped the shoe right down, and we did that because this customer has a raise. You see the difference between the 2 shoes there, look, and we just try and do a repair for a customer that isn't very noticeable. Not that we do a lot of this work, unfortunately, this orthopaedic work. We've done it for this gentleman because he's a friend of ours, but normally, unfortunately, we don't do that. I'm just showing you what we were doing that day. So that was the end of the deck shoes that we were working on. And then over here, you saw we were working on these boots here, these army boots. And I'm going through the stages of how we did and I've still got this one to do. I've actually done this. I've what my dad would say, I've wonned it to death. I've done one of them. This is the one that's done, and I'm really thrilled how this has come out. Have a look in here, look. So we've got this welt now. This boot is repairable time and time again. The welt running right round the back, a full leather heel stack. So we now have the welt, the midsole and the top sole. The welt along the top here is Blake stitched into the shoe because it's not Goodyear welted construction. It was just a moulded unit on the bottom. And we've got rid of all the rubber, all this rubber that was on there, stitched that on, and I'm just going to go through a few processes of showing you this boot. Now, a lot of this will be stuff that you're not really interested in. You're not interested in army boots and how they come together and what the processes are. But we're just doing a little bit of everything. There'll be some stuff that you are interested in, some stuff that you're not interested. At one point, I'm going to talk to you about the pricing of shoes and about the retail price of shoes, the wholesale price of shoes, the trade price and the manufacturers, and how difficult it is for us as retailers now that the manufacturers are all realizing they can sell their shoes direct to you, the customers, without any premises, no shops, no rent, no rate, no lights, no nothing. Straight from the manufacturer, from the processing, straight out to your customers, cutting everybody out. And that'll be an interesting video, but I don't think it'll make me very popular.